All right, we're going back to the basics as we look at multiplying and understand what multiplication is all about. And so we have this idea. We want to take 2 times -5. All right. Now, way back when you learned about multiplication, you know that multiplication is the same thing as repeated addition. So I could really look at this as adding 2 -5s, right? 2 -5s, add them together. We learned that adding negatives, we take the absolute value, same symbol, so we add them together. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and then the symbol stays the same. And so in the end, we come away with an answer of -10. -10. All right? And so because this is the same as this, we would say that 2 times -5 is going to give us an answer of -10. Right? So we take the 2 times the 5, get the number just like we've always multiplied, and our negative is going to stay. All right? So that is our first concept. Right? But then what does this expression mean? -2 times -5. What we want to come to realize about this is that we kind of want to do what's known as the opposite. Right? This first negative, we want this word to pop into our minds. Do the opposite. The opposite of what? Do the opposite of this. Right? So if we kind of ignore the 2 to start, 2 times 5, of course, is 10. Right? And 2 times -5, of course, is -10. But now, because we have this negative sign here, it says do the opposite. That did not look the way I wanted it to, which means this. The opposite of -10 is, of course, +10. Let your minds wrap around this, because as difficult as it may appear, it's really a concept that is not too hard to grasp. Right? In essence, we're doing some pretty simple steps, right? If we have opposite symbols, so basically a +2 times a -2, we're going to come away with a negative. But if we have the same symbols, right, we're going to multiply our numbers, and we're always going to come away with a positive. That's the easy way to explain it, but we did want to understand why. Now, if multiplication works that way, since division is just the opposite, right, or the reverse process of multiplication, right? We talk about our fact families. Then this principle must also apply to division. So I'm going to take my 10 here and divide by 5. I know 10 divided by 5 equals 2. And because we have opposite symbols, a negative, it's going to stay negative. So a -10 divided by 5 equals a -2. Because, yeah, it does. That would be the same as the problem we just did, right? -5 times -2. I'm getting caught up on my words. Well, how about the other one then? -10 divided by -2. Once again, we're going to do the same idea, right? A -10 divided by a -2 is going to give us the answer of 5. Not 5 negative, but 5. 5 positive, if you will. And why is it going to be positive? Because if we reverse this, we would say it looks like this problem, right? So the opposite of 2 times 5, so 2 times 5, right? Because this symbol, right, we're saying when we see the negative in front, we think opposite. So 2 times 5 is 10, and the opposite of 10 is -10. Boom, right there. So a -10 divided by 2 is going to give us a +5, just like what we came with right here. What am I saying? Let's write this in words. Here's our definitions. This is what you need to remember, and if you can remember this, then multiplying and dividing negative numbers is really just going to be as easy as remembering these rules about the symbol. So when multiplying or dividing two numbers that have the same sign means it's going to be positive. It doesn't matter if it's positive and a positive or a negative and a negative. Same sign, answer will always be positive. Second idea, when multiplying and dividing two numbers that have different signs, so positive, negative, or positive, negative, I said the same thing even though I drew two different things, the answer is always going to be negative. Always a negative number. All right. Now that you have it, right, you're multiplying, you're dividing, paying attention to your symbols, and you're coming away with some answers. So here you go. Here are your samples. Work with this idea of positive and negative numbers when you're multiplying and dividing. That's 73.